When you first start helping an aging parent, everything can feel important at the same time. The doctor's appointments, the insurance cards, the medicine bottles, the bills on the table, the mail that came in yesterday, the legal papers that are supposed to be somewhere safe, the phone calls, the daily routines, and the things nobody remembers until somebody needs it right now. And if you are anything like me, you may look at all of that and think, where am I even supposed to start? Because helping an aging parent is not just one task. It can turn into a whole set of life logistics. And suddenly, you are trying to figure out what matters first, what can wait, and what needs to be written down. But here's the thing. You do not have to organize your parent's whole life in one weekend. You do not have to walk in with a giant binder, a label maker, and the emotional energy of a professional project manager. Now, if you have that energy, bless you. But most of us do not. Most of us are trying to help while also managing our own appointments, bills, household, health, and life. So the first step is not to organize everything. The first step is to organize the information that helps you respond. The information you would need if something happened today. A doctor's appointment, a hospital visit, an insurance call, a missed bill, a household problem, or a moment when someone else needs to step in and help. That is where I would start. Not with every paper, not with every drawer, not with every old receipt from 2007. I would start with 6 first priority lists, 6 starting points, 6 places that can help you feel a little less lost when life suddenly asks for information. The first starting point is the emergency sheet. This is the one page someone should be able to grab quickly. On that page, you want the basic information that may be needed fast. Your parent's full legal name, date of birth, address and phone number, emergency contacts, primary doctor, important specialists, current medications, allergies, health insurance information, and the preferred hospital if they have one. This does not have to be fancy. It just needs to be clear. Because in a stressful moment, people do not always think clearly. You may know your parent's doctor's name on a regular Tuesday, but when you are standing at a front desk while your parent is not feeling well, suddenly your brain wants to take a lunch break. That emergency sheet gives you something to lean on. It keeps the most important information in one place when time and stress are working against you. The second starting point is the medical snapshot. This is different from trying to collect every medical record your parent has ever had. The medical snapshot is about the current picture. What is going on right now? Who are the doctors? What pharmacy do they use? What health concerns are being followed? Have there been medication changes? Are there upcoming appointments? Did a doctor give new instructions? Are there questions that need to be asked next time? This matters because medical information can scatter itself all over the place. One instruction may be in the patient portal. Another may be on a paper from the doctor's office. Another detail may come up while you are driving home. Your parent may say, "Oh, the doctor told me to stop taking that." And you are thinking, "Wait, stop taking what? For how long? Did they replace it with something else?" The medical snapshot gives those details one place to land. Not the entire medical history, just the current picture. The third starting point is the permission documents, and this is an important one. Being someone's adult child does not automatically mean every doctor's office, insurance company, bank, or agency can talk to you. You can be the person driving your parent to the appointment. You can be sitting in the waiting room. You can be helping with the phone call. But depending on the situation, they still may need written permission before they can discuss certain information with you. So this starting point is about knowing what permission documents may be needed. That may include a HIPAA authorization, a healthcare power of attorney, a financial power of attorney, an advance directive, a living will, or authorized contact forms for doctors, insurance companies, banks, or other agencies. And I want to be clear. This is not legal, medical, financial, or insurance advice. Every situation is different, so this is something to discuss with the appropriate qualified professionals. But it is still worth paying attention to, because a family can have good intentions and still run into a wall if the right permission documents are not in place. This is not about taking over. It is about making sure help does not get blocked when help is actually needed. The fourth starting point is the household and bill map. This is where you start looking at what keeps your parents' home and daily responsibilities running. And again, this does not mean you are taking over your parents' money. It means you are trying to understand the basic map. What bills exist? When are they due? How are they usually paid? Who handles the utilities? Is there rent, a mortgage, or lot rent? Who handles the insurance? Who do you call if something breaks? Where are important statements kept? This is part of the life logistics of helping an aging parent, because bills, insurance, housing, and repairs do not wait until everybody feels calm and organized. A bill comes due, a letter shows up, a repair issue happens, and if nobody knows what exists or where to start, a small issue can become much harder than it needed to be. The household and bill map helps you understand what keeps life moving. You do not need every detail on day one. You just need to know what exists, when it is due, and where to find the next step. The fifth starting point is the document location list. And this one is important because I am not saying you have to organize every document right away. Sometimes that is too much. Sometimes there are papers in folders, drawers, envelopes, file boxes, and places nobody has looked in a while. So instead of moving every paper, scanning every document, and creating the perfect system, start by making a document location list. This list simply tells you where important papers are located. Where is the home insurance policy? Where is the car title? Where is the birth certificate? Where are the health insurance cards? Where are the tax documents? Where are the housing documents? Where are the will, power of attorney, or advance directive documents? The first win may simply be knowing where things are. For example, the home insurance policy is in the blue folder in the desk drawer. The car title is in the file box in the closet. The advance directive is in the folder beside the medical papers. Sometimes the problem is not that the document does not exist. The problem is that nobody knows where it lives. The sixth starting point is the daily routine list, and this is the one that can be easy to overlook. Because when people talk about organizing a parent's information, they usually think about paperwork. But caregiving is not only paperwork. Sometimes the most important information is the routine. What time does your parent usually take medication? Do they take it with food? How do they usually get to appointments? Do they need transportation? What meals do they prefer? What day does the trash go out? How do they handle the mail? Are there mobility concerns? Is there a pet that needs care? Who usually helps with what? These details may seem small until someone else has to step in. Then they become very important. The daily routine list helps someone understand what normal looks like. It also helps you notice where your parent is doing fine and where they may need more support. Because sometimes the details that matter most are the ones that never show up in a formal document. Now, after hearing all of these starting points, you may be thinking, that still sounds like a lot. And yes, it can be. But the goal is not to do all of this in one day. The goal is not to organize every drawer, sort every old paper, buy a complicated system, or make your parent feel like they are being managed. Start gently. This information can feel personal. Your parent may have been handling their own life for decades. So when you start asking questions about doctors, bills, documents, and routines, the conversation needs respect. You are not coming in to take over. You are trying to create enough structure so that when help is needed, everybody is not starting from confusion. So here's the simple first step. Start with one page. The emergency sheet. Parent's name, date of birth, emergency contacts, doctors, medications, allergies, insurance information, preferred hospital. That is enough to begin. Not the whole system, not the whole house. One page. Then, when you have that, choose the next starting point. Maybe the medical snapshot. Maybe the household and bill map. Maybe the document location list. Start with the area that would create the most stress if you needed it and could not find it, and build from there. If you are trying to figure out where to begin, I do have resources on my website that can help you start organizing the first pieces of your parents' information without feeling like you have to do everything at once. Because that is the main thing I want you to take from this. You do not have to organize your parents' whole life in one weekend. Start with the information that helps you respond. Start with what would matter first. Start with one page, one list, one starting point. Because the goal is not perfection. The goal is being able to find what you need when life suddenly asks for it. A simple starting point can make things feel a little less scattered, a little less confusing, and a little more manageable. Not perfect, just manageable. And sometimes, when you are helping an aging parent, manageable is a very good place to start.